Hi everybody, and welcome to this course with us here today. So I'm Alec, and I'm the founder of Intern, a platform that's here to empower the next generation of creatives to build their dream careers. And I guess that's why you're here today as well. So we're going to be talking about the really often uncomfortable subject of money, but don't worry, I'm here to guide you through it and to try and make sure that by the end of this course, you're feeling a lot more comfortable in terms of dealing with it, in terms of pricing, and are starting to feel a lot more like you are pricing what you're worth and what your work is worth. So the program is called The Price is Right. And I guess before we get stuck in, I just want to briefly take you through what our goals are going to be on this learning journey together. We're going to cover quite a lot, but it's, as I'm going to talk about soon, it's structured in a way that it should be adaptable to you. You can take pieces as and when you need to. You can skip ahead if you want. I wouldn't recommend it. And you can come back in anytime. But these are the core things that we're going to cover. First of all, after our little introduction and warm-up, we are going to look at how you can set a rate that works for you. Not worrying about anyone else at this point, just a rate that works for you. We're going to kind of look then at the confidence effect, how that, for the large part, guides our initial ideas in terms of pricing and how it can hold us back. I don't want you to be thrown by this. If you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm not a particularly confident person, is this going to work for me? I've got you covered. This is not about having to be confident, it's understanding about how we can project that and how that kind of plays into everything from how we price our work to how people perceive our work as a result of our pricing. Then we're going to start looking at different pricing strategies, and in this course I'm going to take you through three. First of which is going to be hourly or daily rates. Pretty self-explanatory, this one. This is usually the kind of go-to method that everyone has when they start trying to put a figure on what it is they do. So we're going to break that down and look at the pros and cons, apply it, and see what happens. Next up, we'll look at flat rates or project rates, which are basically two words for the same thing. We shall see how they vary from doing a piece of work on an hourly or a daily rate. Look at the pros and cons again, look at the situations that we might apply it in, and have a little go at setting one ourselves. We'll move on then to look at value-based pricing and kind of look at that in comparison to those first two, and again, see what the advantages and disadvantages maybe are, see what the opportunities are, and see how that might shape the way we think about the value of our work and certainly the way in which we communicate that to others. So, typically our clients. Then there'll be a bit of a section where I go over the fact that this really is not a one-size-fits-all kind of scenario, in that different designers, different creative professionals have a different preference. Even within something like design, which is where we're going to focus a lot of the subject matter in this program, there's a real variety of opinion on this. Different things work for different people, and that's fine. So we're going to kind of look at some of the impacts of that. Then I'm going to ask you to quote me. We'll have done this in a few minutes' time. So a bit later in the course, we'll go back to that. And I'm really interested to see how your pricing changes, both in terms of how much you charge and also your strategy. And we'll have covered a lot of that up until that point. So an opportunity to kind of try out some of the things that you'll have learnt so far. Next up is a big one, a really important one, and that's negotiation. And it is a bit of an art form, but again, if you feel like you're not naturally inclined to be very good at negotiation, do not worry. We're going to look at some fundamental principles that will help to ease the situation for you. I'm not trying to make your life any harder. I'm here to make it easier. So we'll look at strategies around that, how other things that we're going to address are going to be able to help us in negotiations and just kind of understanding what the general rules of combat are. So don't worry, you're going to be a master negotiator by the time you finish this course. Then we'll look at terms agreements. These are super important. If you are doing freelance work without any kind of contract in place, it's only a matter of time before things go pretty tits up. So we're going to have a look at terms agreements, what they are, how they function, and how they can really help to set the boundaries that are absolutely crucial to successful and consistent freelance work. Then we'll take a look at invoicing. You might have sent dozens of invoices, you might have never sent an invoice. Either way, we're going to cover the core components, what should be in there, and we're going to try and make sure that your invoice and your terms agreement are nice and harmonious. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about chasing invoices, because unfortunately this is the life of a freelancer. I hate to break it to you, but there is definitely going to be a point in your career, if you're freelancing, that you're going to have to chase people for money. So I'm going to leave you with a few little tricks and insights into how you can just ease that pain as and when it comes around. And then finally, we'll have a little bit of a roundup and check in together, see how it's gone for you. Hopefully you'll have been able to find a new way of looking at this whole dilemma of pricing. Hopefully you'll be more confident. Hopefully you'll be ready to charge more. So that's going to be it for this program, and I'm really excited to get started with you. So let's go.